It was the first day of school for many across Ontario, but getting there proved to be challenging due to bus cancellations and delays. And there's no end in sight to the province's driver shortage.
Today, we did hear from some of the families, wanting an explanation. Why is my bus late, or why was it canceled?
The Chief Administrative Officer of Student Transportation Services of Central Ontario says it was a rough start for many students this morning.
8 drivers were unavailable to cover the routes. So those routes actually covered more than, in some cases, more than one school. So it was the case that we had to cancel those routes because drivers were not available.
There were dozens of delays and cancellations in and near Peterborough. Frustrated parents told just hours before they would have to rearrange a ride for their little ones or wait a while.
A fair number of late buses. So what that means is they're using one driver who completes a route to go out and do a second school, which wasn't really planned.
Durham Catholic District School Board tells CityNews 4 of their secondary schools have slightly different school hours this year due to bus driver shortages. The stress is being felt in various regions.
In Halton region, there were a few delays. In Hamilton, well, that hasn't started yet, but we're anticipating a severe shortage there tomorrow.
The Executive Director of School Bus Ontario, Nancy Danielle, says low wages are the main reason for the shortage.
We're now competing with CERB. We're also competing with some other industries in certain regions that have increased wages since the pandemic. So it's almost a perfect storm.
Currently, school bus drivers get paid between $16 to $20 an hour, which Danielle says isn't sufficient considering all that goes into being a good driver.
CPR, race training, race sensitivity training. They also have to know EpiPen training. There's a whole host of other certifications that they're required to do as well.
As for when these shortages will stop,
I would say it's day to day. With some of the routes, they're probably going to run into next week. And we'll have to see how, again, by the end of next week, how is First Student making out with bringing in new drivers.
we reached out to school boards in Peel, Toronto, and York to see if they're experiencing bus driver shortages. Both Peel and Toronto said not at this time, and we didn't hear back from York Region. For City News, I'm Maleeha Sheikh.